Joining us is special guest host Dorothy, friend, spokesperson, and volunteer at Friend Indeed. But Celeste, I want to come back to your question to Marlene.
Right. Well, my question was, what is your fear? You know, not getting the word out. You were mentioning that you were underfunded. So.
Yes. Well, my greatest fear is that if we don't get the funding, our programs that are much needed in the community they're just going to be gone. And like I said, I just want your viewers, if they could go and visit our website and donate, donate money, that would be
And
great.
if you can't have money to donate, donating time means
Donating
just
time,
as
we're
much.
always in need of volunteers.
Speaking of volunteers, beautiful woman right next to you, Dorothy. Tell us about your participation in the program.
Actually, I utilized the women's room when I was homeless for 7 years, and I lived on the streets here in Pasadena. When I was housed through Housing Works, I moved 3 doors down from the women's room, and I was really heavy into an addiction, drug and alcohol addiction, and so when I decided to get sober, clean and sober, I started going to the women's room all the time.
What was that moment for you when you decided to get clean and sober?
What was it like?
Yeah,
what were you thinking?
What was the breaking point?
My life was just a mess. It was very sad. Just a lot of disappointment in myself.
I'm sorry, we were talking backstage, and I was remembering that a lot of people, homelessness. What was the event? What was that led you to be on the streets?
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Yes.
Would you like to
I
tell us?
was clean and sober for 5 years at the time. I worked at Beatles Cafeteria here in Pasadena, and I had a very abusive relationship, and I had 2 black eyes, and I had to call and quit my job. But I never missed a day of. I was never late. I was very responsible. Shortly thereafter, I became homeless, and then I got really heavy into my drug addiction.
How long
was
were you?
that? I'm sorry. What was that like, living on the streets and not having a warm bed to sleep, and not knowing if you will wake up the next morning?
It got to the point where the comforts of home were no longer existed. It was just the demeaning feeling that you felt when people looked at you and like you were invisible, like you didn't matter and you didn't count. That's what took the toll on me the hardest.
Did you believe that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Ultimately, I came to believe that I was worthless. My self-esteem was just, there was nothing left. I was an empty shell, and I was an empty shell on drugs.
Tell us about that moment that actually you realized that you wanted help.
Well, when I was found during the 2011 homeless census, and I was interviewed, and Housing Works housed me, and my case manager told me, the stipulations are not that you have to quit using drugs or get mental help, but we would appreciate that you think about these things, and that once you become more stable, that you make better decisions for yourself. And I got to the point where I felt like it was hindering me. And ever since I quit using drugs and alcohol, I've just shot up straight to the sky.
And you're doing so many good things, right?
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
I sit on the City of Pasadena Partnership for Ending Homelessness. I am a peer support volunteer for Housing Works. I just graduated from an advocacy training program for Corporation for Supportive Housing, and last month I was voted as a board member.
That's just amazing.
So many things are going on in your life. What is it that keeps you clean and sober?
Well, like I say this all the time, when I leave my house, the women's room is for homeless women and women at risk. When I was homeless, I was on the other side of town, and I didn't know really much about the women's room until I moved there, and I just believe that God put me right where I was just because of that place. So when I get to the end of my driveway, I can make a left and go to the dope house, or I can make a right and go to the safe house, which is the women's room.
What makes you turn right?
The women's room.
Dorothy, what if you never would have found this program?
The women's room?
What would have happened?
Man.
I mean, do you see like your life in that sense? Like,
when I moved into my house and I finally quit using drugs and I was okay enough to go outside because I isolated a lot and I kept myself locked in my house. at first. I didn't live there very long with my addiction, but I couldn't dream of what it would be like without it there.
So they did a
Today
lot for
I
you.
bake there, and I take, there's a lot of great volunteers. It's the women are just, we're a family.
I'm so glad you found that family, and we're so very proud of you. For more information on how you can go and give back, go to friendsindeedpass.org. We'll be back with more Every Way Woman. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That was
Thank you.
beautiful.